The defense is legit. Offensive line may not quite be there yet, but Oklahoma is out and off and back into a new season with a huge win over Temple in game 1 of the 2024 season. Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. He's the coach, Philip Roybal. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Folks, we're back. We are back right here on this channel. Ain't going nowhere. This is where we are. Big game tonight for Oklahoma. They are here starting the 2024 season. Defensively, I don't know that you could look any better than what you look like on the defensive side. Now, you should look that good against a team like Temple, but we've seen them look worse against teams like Temple in the past. Coach, what did you think of this football? And we'll get you in here in just a bit, Sooner Legend. What did you think about what you saw from this Oklahoma football team tonight in week 1 against Temple?
Well, what I saw was an SEC football team that looked pretty damn good. I think that, you know, just watching, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I got bored and turned over and started watching the new Notre Dame deal. But the defense is legit. You know, they were running to the ball. They were having a party at the ball, and it was an incredible job on defense. And I think that that's something that we've been talking about for a while now, that the defense is definitely much improved, and something that it's been a while since Oklahoma has played that kind of defense. So I was super impressed with the defense. The defense up front is pretty damn good. And again, I know it's Temple, but at the end of the day, the way they ran to the ball and made plays was good. Now, offensively, I was not that it should surprise anybody, but Jackson Arnold, I thought he threw the ball extremely well. And I thought, you know, he threw the ball into some really tight windows and completed them. And as you mentioned earlier when we were talking about this, you know, had 17 for 25 and had several drop balls. But again, he played amazing. So I think he's I think he's going to be tough. You know, he really impressed.
Yeah, listen, yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody before we even get started. Love all you guys. Thank you so much for the support over the last few days. It's been great. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Now, yeah, man, these guys, look, something we've talked about a lot, coaches. Coming into the SEC, you know that you have to win it in the trenches, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. You have to go in and be able to stop the run. You got to be able to put pressure on quarterbacks. To go in there and get 4 turnovers, lots of TFLs in that opening half, ended up getting some sacks on the quarterback late, and they definitely were trying to bring in a lot of max protect and stuff like that early on. But sooner or later, they were going to get to you. And when you have a guy like a Jaden Jackson, freshman or not, get in there and be able to disrupt the interior of your offensive line, and a guy like Grayson Halton, who for an interior guy is as fast as they get, you're going to get a lot of plays. You're going to make a lot of plays in that area. This was a huge thing. Now, we could go in here and we could nitpick this thing to death. The bottom line is they won 51-3. Okay? They won 51-3. You did what you're supposed to do against a team that's clearly not on your level, right? Clearly not on your level.
you're going to get plenty of those chances.
Yeah.
But again, for those people that have been talking about, Oklahoma being a bottom tiered SEC team, well, if y'all watch tonight and you still believe that, you're a dumbass. Because they can play some defense, and defense wins people a lot of ball games. So they're not.
Well,
they're.
I said this a lot, even in the Discord while the game was going on. I was like, look, man, this is a team that is going to be carried by the defense. This is a good thing. This is not a bad thing. This is one of the deals that you want to see happen. Now, on the offensive line, I think that the offensive line showed that you've got a lot of guys that can play. I think that they showed that also they don't really know where they want them at just yet. And I think that it's pretty clear that the right tackle position, probably not where Spencer Brown needs to be. You had Jake Taylor injured. They didn't want to, I don't think that they wanted to push him. I don't think that it was a matter of whether he could play or not. I don't think they were going to push against a team like Temple. I just don't think that they were going to risk anything there. One of those deals that you're just not going to do it. But I think it's clear that Spencer Brown probably needs to move into a guard position. He's not fast enough to play on the edge against some of these other guys. That's clear to me. You could probably get away with that in the Big Ten where they're just, it's a lot of smash mouth, run up the middle kind of stuff. You're not going to get pushed as much because you don't got your quarterback dropping back as much as what you are in Oklahoma. If you've watched Oklahoma over the past 4 to 5 seasons, this is kind of how they start off pretty much every year. They're not quite sure where they want everybody on the O-line. They're having to kind of work to gel together by the time game 3 or 4 rolls around, and then you're off and running. That's just kind of how it's gone.
Right.
I think that that's probably going to be how it is this year. Now, the hope is that you bring it together a little quicker before you get to the Tennessee game. Maybe at least by that 3rd game. Next week, you've got a Houston team that's going to be very well coached, but they should be outmanned completely when it comes to the type of players that they have. Willie Fritz is a hell of a coach. You give him year 2, year 3, yeah, they're going to be good. They're going to be a pain in the ass out. Artie was about to bring that up to Stephen G. Jalil Farouk, wide receiver, broken foot. Going to have a surgery. Looks like he's out at least 6 to 8 weeks. You can almost kind of see that being the end of the end for Jalil. I think he was, kind of trying to come back for one more go around to up his draft stock. It's going to be tough. I don't think that you have time to hope and pray that he's going to be a savior when he comes back in. There's a reason why, and I said this kind of on K. Chris's stream in the comments a little while ago. You want to know why we keep on dipping in the receiver pool? This is why. You get a couple of injuries, all of a sudden you don't know what's going on. Nick Anderson's not in the game tonight. You could see that there was definitely some issues as far as one of the other issues would have been J.J. Hester. You got to catch the damn football, J.J. He's hitting you in the hands with it. You're dropping it. Got to catch the football. There's a reason why he hasn't played a ton in his 3 seasons in Norman. This now being his 3rd season since coming over from Missouri. But I think this is an opportunity for guys like Ivan Carrion, freshman, 6'6" freshman wide receiver, to get an opportunity. Zion Kearney, another one of those unbelievable freshman guys that you expect to see something out of. Jaquez Petaway, who is a 2nd-year player here at Oklahoma. I expect to see something out of him coming up. It's time for him to step up. Next man up. I would think that Petaway is going to have a good opportunity. It is what it is. Now, what I would also, yes, thank you. Brandon Thompson. Look, him catching balls on the perimeter and stuff like that, maybe that's not his thing. Get him to go deep and run under footballs. I don't really see him being a guy that you can have in the slot or really as one of your wide outs, out there wide, catching balls over the middle, stuff like that. He had a problem with the dropsies too. I know that his speed, being a 10-1, 100 guy as a track guy, is great. I don't really think that you can depend on him to catch the ball in traffic and be that guy for you. I think that that's become pretty clear. They didn't do it with him at Texas either. And there's been a lot of back and forth between his mother and Texas fans all week on Twitter, from what I understand. Maybe sit this one out. Maybe sit this one out. Maybe stop talking so much, and we'll see kind of what happens. But it's definitely, you're going to get some opportunities if you're in that receiver room to make your mark now. Go make it. Go make it. You know, I have a lot of belief in Emmett Jones and what he's done in there, as far as not just recruiting, but as far as development's concerned. I think they're going to be okay at wide receiver. But there's a reason why they've been so heavy going and getting as many guys as they could get in that wide receiver room, because you just don't know what they're going to look like on the field until they get on the field. That's the way I feel about it anyway. Coach?
No, I'm kind of like you. I got some concerns there with the receiving core. I think that going to have some improvements there. And again, I think it's, talking about the 10-1 speed, it's great to have that 10-1 speed, but hell, you can't catch the ball with your feet. You got to use your hands, and that wasn't very impressive. Very impressive performance as far as catching the ball, and you can't have that many drops in ball games, especially when all those balls were very catchable. Those drops were, I understand drops happen, but when they're catchable like that, you shouldn't be dropping them. And I get it. I know it's first game jitters, and there's a lot of that stuff that goes into week one. That's you got to kind of sift through the crap a little bit, and especially playing at Temple, you got to sift through all that. But there's definitely room for improvement. But I will say this: hell, if there wasn't room for improvement, you might as well just go to the end of the season and call it a day. They're going to get better. I think you saw improvements where you wanted to see improvements, and those improvements, again, and I'm going to reiterate, came defensively. I was pretty impressed with the defense.
Mm-hmm. Oops, sorry, Mars Jams, that wasn't for you. I was trying to get somebody else. Sorry about that. Stay in, don't run. My fault. Ray Ellison, watch it, buddy. Watch it. All right, yeah. Sorry about that, Mars Jams. You're my dude. Sorry about that. All right, Neilio, thank you for the super chat. Here's to your opening game victory. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the super chat. Not my boy Mars. No, it was definitely. Whoa!
Hey, stink ass cat.
Stink ass cat with the $100 super chat. My man, appreciate you very much.
Really happy tonight.
Flip over backwards and almost make the interception. Those receivers can catch and hold on to the football. I will second that and third that and fourth that for $100. You can say whatever the hell you want. We appreciate it. Yeah, wow. My man. No, you're not wrong, though. You're not wrong. And listen, man, they got to be really good. Now, look, with Nick not being in the game, Andrell really didn't play a whole lot, and I think Corporate Duck was kind of talking about that. Andrell got in a little bit towards early part of that third quarter, made a grab or two. Or, wait, did he end up catching that one? I know one was thrown his way anyway. I expect that some of these guys are going to make it a lot different. And with Nick, he's been a big difference maker from kind of minute one that he stepped on the field. I think Ballard Sharp looked very good for Oklahoma. I love that they're going to they're going to be using a tight end more in that package. That's a quarterback's best friend. I love the looks that they got when they had Hawkins in the game. I don't think that there's anywhere close to a quarterback controversy in any way. Not gonna give any credence to that kind of stuff, because I don't think that's the case. If you look at what Jackson Arnold did, he was 17-25, only 141 yards, but 4 touchdowns, 2 of which go to Deion Burks. No interceptions, no turnovers for Jackson. That's big. Now, He had 4 drops also in that game, which puts him at 21-25. It would have added, he would have been well over 200 yards just on 2 of those drops that could have been catches, right? You gotta make those plays. You gotta make those plays. So Jackson looked really good. I think that there was times he looked hurried. But what I liked about that was when he looked hurried, he didn't look like it was rattling him to the point where he wasn't gonna be that he wasn't going to be good. And look, this is a very good point. Me and Coach talked about this during the game. Very vanilla. They didn't show anything that I think that you're going to want to see out of them in the first SEC game against Tennessee. You've seen that really over the last few years since Coach BV got here. They're not going to really show you anything on offense in those early games of the year. And I don't think that you saw a ton of what you're going to see on defense. I think it was super vanilla there too. And they still were able to basically erase every bit of offense that Temple was going to muster. You know, hey, 6 turnovers forced. It's look.
I don't care who you're playing.
It doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't matter who you play. You force 3 turnovers in an SEC game, you're going to be in good shape. You're going to be in good shape. As long as you're not turning it over that many times too. You've got, but look, 6 turnovers forced. You turn that into you had 4 turnovers in the first half, and you turn that into 6 scores or 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Sorry about that. And by the way, we got a field goal kicker, folks. We got a field goal kicker. Huge. Is it not? Huge, is it not? I know it's something everybody was worried about, right?
Those guys are always important in the big ball games, in those close ball games. You know, their money. If you can, you can put some points on the board anytime you cross the 50. That's what you got to have.
Look, again. And one of them was like a 54-yarder, I believe. His first one was a 54-yarder, and it was a career high, a career long for him. So, but big deal. It was a big deal. And yes, Sean D, you say it right. Opportunistic, flying around the ball. Look, getting a lot of push up front, which is what we said needed to happen. They almost had that other, and honestly, it felt like to me the Billy Bowman almost interception when he jumped on top of that receiver to reach over. He had a hold of that football. They called it an incomplete pass. He made a football move to get to the ground with it. So it makes you wonder whether or not that was a pick or not. It's fine if it is fine that they didn't call it one, but it just goes to show you he always seems to be around the ball. Always seems to be around the ball. You had, I believe it was either Jaden Jackson or it might have been Grayson Halton. Somebody popped that ball loose, and he, of course, comes up with it on that. I think it was the 4th turnover of the first half too. So, hey, Billy's always going to be around the football. He's going to be around the football. Love it. As far as, burying the lead, Jaden Jackson. Okay, all right, Jaden Jackson, brother. I would tell you this. We talked about this a bunch, man. And shout out to the professor who's in the audience right now. He's been calling this stuff for a long time, since before he even committed to Oklahoma. He was saying he would be the best guy that they got if they got him because of looking at his film. He's been screaming about it. Look, I think Stoney looked great when he got in and playing at times, but Jaden Jackson looks like a 2nd, 3rd year guy on that defensive line. I mean, there's a reason why they put him in as a starter. There's a reason why they put him in as a starter over a senior who played a lot of downs at Tennessee.
Well, Jason, this is a great example. And as a fan base, so many times people bitch and moan and complain about how come they're going to start this freshman, over this guy, and sometimes even over a starter from the year before. Well, first of all, every season is a new season, and you know what? It's open from the get-go. Okay, and so this is a great example of the coaches, they work with these guys every day. They work with these cats every day. They see every practice. They see everything that's going on with these kids. And just because you're going to play a freshman doesn't mean that, well, they're being partial or they're, hell, if they're going to play a freshman, guys, it's because he can play, not because of anything else. But so many times I hear fans say, well, I don't know why in the hell they're playing a freshman. Well, today is a great example. That's why they're playing a freshman.
Yeah, listen, he's the best guy for the job. You play him. I don't give a shit if he's a freshman or not.
Well,
and that's every position.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this. The last time I checked, if BV doesn't win ball games, they'll fire his ass. And so are you absolutely crazy thinking that those coaches are going to play favorites, or they're going to play the kids that are going to help them win ball games? Their
favorites are going to be the kids that help them win ball games, don't they? Don't you think?
You know what? I used to be asked all the time as a coach, do you have favorites? My response was yes. And people's eyes would get big and they were like, you have favorites? So yeah, the kids that do everything they're supposed to do, they go to class, they do the right thing in the program, outside of the program, they're in the weight room early, they leave late, all the things that are expected of these kids. The ones that do it all, those are my favorites. And guess what? If your son isn't a favorite, he can become a favorite. So you can tell him, because I tell him every day, he can become a favorite.
Plays. Make plays.
Amen, brother.
Hey, I'll tell you guys another
right
thing.
And make plays.
And thank you to Richard Shear for bringing it up. Tatum just looks special, intangibles or whatever. He pops off the screen. How many times have I said it the entire offseason? I like the running back situation at Oklahoma. I like it a hell of a lot more with Taylor Tatum in the game. I knew that you just see it. There's a difference in what this guy is. There's a reason why. Look, we can sit here and talk about it, but Josh McCuistion has been oftentimes you've heard him compare him to greats like Joe Mixon right now, right away. That doesn't just happen with guys like Josh McCuistion. He's been watching these guys and paying attention to these players for 25 damn years.
Yep. He
can see it. We can see it. I remember something that Shawty said to us watching. I think he may have been watching that film too of Taylor Tatum, that some of these guys, they eat up more of those little white lines quicker than the rest. And when you saw the way that he was erasing angles, no matter whether it was in high school or not, he was playing in the best league in America, erasing angles as a high school kid. As a high school junior, he was doing all that. This guy is the real deal. He's going to be the real deal. And look, I don't think that we saw anything bad out of Javonte. I thought he was great. I don't think we saw anything bad out of Gavin Sawchuk tonight. I think he looked really good at times too. I didn't love the way that they started off the running game, but as soon as Taylor Tatum got in, there was a difference. And to me, another freshman that you look at and you're like, yeah, he needs to play. Period. Don't care. Because there's difference makers and then there's difference makers, And he's one of those kids that you need him in the football game. Even if you put him at the slot, hey, look, if we're going to be having some issues in the receiver room, I don't care where you put him in. Give him the damn football. That's it. The best players play. Absolutely, Professor. Folks, I appreciate everybody coming in. Now, we have a lot of folks in here. We have almost 200 people in here. I would hope. Yes. We actually have already had 400 views total up until this point. And we only have, where's my likes at?
Hey, and Jason,
27 likes for 400 views. Come on, folks.
Come on, guys. And you know what? Like Jason, like on Jason, and on me, give me the thumbs down. But let's give us one or the other. Okay. Give us one or the other.
Yep. If y'all can develop a running, have play action is going to be scary. I love the deep ball in Jackson Arnold. Yeah, dude, he throws it well. He throws it different, right? He definitely throws it different. Coach was talking about before we came on air that Jackson just hits all the spots, you know. I think that you've got a guy in Michael Hawkins that I don't think that you want to just, you know, make sure that you preserve his red shirt or anything. I don't think you do. I think you have in him at quarterback. Not only can he throw the ball, but he is a true difference maker running the football, especially if you throw him in there in a speed option type of thing, like what you saw towards the end of the game. And by the way, they did convert a third down. That touchdown that Taylor Tatum had at the end of the game was on third down. They were 1 of 12. I get it. There was things that needed to be better. Again, we can't pick on them a whole lot, folks. We just can't do it. You know, 51-3. 51-3 is 51-3 is 51-3. Okay.
First ball game. Come on.
First ball game of the season. Look, you know, if everything's perfect week 1 and you don't have anything to work on, then what? You know, then what? Kind of is what it is, guys.
I was impressed. I really was. I still say they're going to be a contender in the SEC. I still believe, you know, obviously they got improvements to make, but I still see them being in the final 12.
Yeah. Look, I do too. You know, we've been talking about that a lot, but good question here by Richard Shearer. Don't you think in the transfer portal era you don't worry about red shirts? I think you do not worry about red shirts whatsoever. You know, if you get lucky and you're able to do that and you're going to keep this guy around, then that's all well and good. Hey, look, there's Michael. That maybe you could keep him around. But I think that if you haven't used some of these guys, at least to some extent where it looks like they believe they have an opportunity to play, you probably lose them anyway. So why do you care about the red shirt? I don't think that you can worry about the red shirt. And I think that you have in Michael Hawkins a different kind of guy, a guy that's a difference maker immediately, that you can put some packages in that, you know, not only, and it's not just a package where, you know, if you think about how they used to use Tim Tebow and, or even like how they were trying to use Jackson last year in that, you know, that Tebow set or whatever they called it, where you're just trying to run the ball, the belldozer type of stuff. That's not what you want out of him, because if you do that, then you know that it's just one play that they're going to run. You can put him in and give him some opportunities to do some things that could be explosive in that offensive game plan for you. And that doesn't mean that you have to not be just as explosive with Jackson Arnold. And I think that you're going to be explosive with Jackson Arnold with the way that they do things. He throws the ball fabulously. Yeah, I think that offensively, again, I'm going to say this again, even though I know everybody's worried right now. I do not worry about Oklahoma's offense. I don't. I don't. It's much more important what we saw defensively tonight than anything else, right? All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put this I'm going to put the link in. Now, folks, this is a call-in show. I'm not going to use your faces. I will actually, whether you, even if you make it to where we can bring your face up, I'm not going to do it. I will make sure that all your faces are off there. So do call in. I promise that we will not use your face. We want to hear from you what you liked, what you didn't like, everything else. And so everybody should be calling in. We're going to have, I believe, Sooner Legend will be jumping in here as well. You can grab this right away, Sooner Legend. We will use your face if you want. Also, Shawty, if you want to jump in, feel free to do so as well. But you guys,
I think you can get some more people to give you a little more money if you take my face off.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it might have been a payment to keep you on, you know? So it is what it is. Can you call in to say that? No, Benji, you will not be on this call-in show. Thank you, sir. No, I'm just messing with you. You can call in and say whatever the hell you want. But you probably
call in and say hook 'em. Call in and say hook 'em.
But you probably better throw in a little super chat before you do that, bruh. Bishop Frank, what's up, my guy?
What's good?
What's up, Bishop?
Hey, what's going on, Coach?
How you doing, my brother?
Man, living large and supercharged.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, I tell you what, hey, we still got to do a lot of work going forward, but I see why the offense struggled with the defense. I literally see it.
Yeah.
So with that, I
Why is
saw,
that? Why is that though? Tell us why.
yeah, that front line is a beast. That
Uh-huh.
defensive, the power line is that legit. And it's been a
Agreed.
long time since we had that type of competitive depth.
It's been a long, long time, brother. I agree with you.
Woo! And you talking about being able to allow your offense to be able to be in the lab working to get better as you're holding people to under 7 points.
Yeah.
Man.
Well,
And
I'm
then,
telling you, it's they played tremendous defense, and like I told Jason earlier, you know what? They were running to the ball and having a party at the ball, and I mean, if you go back and watch this again, you'll see there was 8, 9, 10, 11 people right around the ball on almost every play. Very impressive.
yeah, and I like that they forced 6 turnovers. Actually was forcing it.
Yes,
So it's a beautiful thing to say because whenever you get that many turnovers, man, the odds in your favor of being able to win that game.
absolutely.
All right, coach. So talking about the offensive line in this game, in view of the fact of what Neilio said here, you know what he wants to hear from you. Go ahead and tell us, what did you think about the offensive line tonight?
I don't give a shit. No, and you know I do. I tell you what, guys, when we start talking football and it's really happening there in front of us, we're getting to watch the games, and we're the competitive juices are flowing, and that's what I love. I hate all that bullshit we talk about in the off season, and that's why so many times in the off season you hear me say, I don't give a shit, because it's off season talk. But now
The professor is also in the house. Cody, the professor.
What's up? What's up, guys?
What's up?
Professor.
How we doing?
I just got finished watching this Wisconsin Western Michigan nail biter. Boy,
How did that end up?
28-14, but it was way closer than that. Wisconsin drove down and really stuck in the gavel at the last second. But boy, I tell you, football is back. Week 0 was good. Week 1, I mean, North Dakota State, Colorado was a thriller. UNC and UNC in Minnesota, thriller. Boy, oh boy, the only game that hasn't been a thriller is probably the one without the transfer quarterback that I've been banging on the drum about is OU. OU looked pretty good. I saw some highlights. I didn't watch the whole game. I have it recorded, guys, because I'm gonna see my guy Jaden Jackson do his thing. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it for myself. We had some other obligations tonight. My son was the ball boy for the high school. My daughter was cheering at the high school game, so I didn't get to watch OU.
All right, that's good stuff.
But he did it, and to his credit, let's say this here, and I've got it starred for a reason. When he got in here, he said elite eval of he was talking about his evaluation of Jaden Jackson. It was an elite eval, and I don't think that there's any two ways around it at this point. We can say whatever we want. The bottom line is this guy is a difference maker right away out of the gate, and it's a big reason. If Oklahoma is standing there with an opportunity to get into the college football playoff at the end of this season, it's going to have a hell of a lot to do with guys like Jaden Jackson.
For sure. So we talked a lot about it when I did the initial eval, and he was a 3-star, and the power line was coming together. I said, I love Stoney. I love him to death. And you said he's very, influential into the class. I had to agree with you, but I said that is not the guy that is going to be the most impactful year one. I said Jaden Jackson's going to be the real deal. And you said, well, we got some depth there. I don't know. Kind of not saying that I was crazy, but just saying like I'm not sure. And I feel like that Jaden Jackson's elevated that room, and that's a good thing to have. When you have elevation of a room like the running back room with Tatum and the nose position with Jaden Jackson on the interior defensive line, you are getting to another caliber. When you're sitting out a senior as a true freshman for starts, you are getting to a new caliber. You are setting the floor higher and the ceiling even higher than expected. And now Jaden Jackson is the floor. As good as he's going to be, he is the floor. He's the bottom.
Think about this. They had a number 8 class. They had a number 8 class with him as a top 200 guy. But what does that do to their class if he's another 5-star, which he should have been a 5-star? Period.
He should have been. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Right there, that means that at the very least they probably pick up another 2 spots in those rankings. Not that I give 2 shits about the rankings. What the point I'm trying to make is you can say whatever you want about how perfect and on point the ranking system is, but it don't mean shit. When they get out on the field is when you know it matters. Shawty Parker in the house on the phone as well. What do you got to say about tonight's game, Shawty? Thanks for coming in.
First of all, what's up, Coach? What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
What's up, Shotty? How are you doing, buddy?
Jason, boss man, what's happening?
All love, my brother. All love, my man.
So yeah, man. First of all, I want to say congratulations on the win. It's no such thing as a bad win, right? We're gonna take it.
Yep.
They're all good, baby.
So I just got a quick question. I'm gonna get off, man. I just really want to hop on and show a little support. So my question would be for the panel is, and I know it's the first game, so not a lot to go off of, but just in this first game, just from the coaching staff or even head coach perspective, did y'all see any growth? Something y'all saw in this game that y'all would not have done last year? Just growth in the coaching staff, and that's all I wanted to ask.
I definitely think that you saw them really kind of letting loose on that defense. Not instead of playing a little tentatively with your secondary or whatever, and not wanting them to kind of be aggressive and make plays. You saw them sending pressure from a lot of places. And I think that has a big part of it. The other thing, I think that we didn't really see what we want to see offensively just yet. I think a lot of that I think you brought it up in the comment section, that a lot of that may have to do with the fact that they don't want to show anything. It's pretty vanilla right now because, you didn't see a lot of stretch run. I would like the stretch zone a lot. I think the one time that you did see it, you saw Taylor Tatum break one really a long run. You're going to see a little bit more of that. But as far as like growth as far as that's concerned, I think that, look, you didn't allow little mistakes here and there to turn into big mistakes and touchdowns. Now, again, you're playing Temple. It's kind of hard to get too much of a look in game one. But I guess Sooner Legend, welcome into the show. How would you answer that question? What did you see as far as growth out of this coaching staff that you really liked?
Well, Jason, you hit it on the head with the defensive line. That was, I don't care if it was Temple, Luther High School, where I went to high school, or be it a SEC powered. That is the defense that I have been longing to see for many, many years. And I will tell you, can I give a shout out?
Give a shout out to whoever the hell you want. You're here, ain't you?
Nobody has mentioned this on their Oklahoma podcast. How dare them? I'm fixing to revoke their Sooner cards.
I was about to. If you're not about to mention what I think you're about to, I'm gonna kick your ass because I was waiting on you for it. So go ahead.
How about my man Dewey Selman getting recognized today as going into the Hall of Fame this year And if you Sooner, not you, Jason, but if you other Sooner podcasters, I'm wearing my 91 jersey right now. You can't see me. But if you other Sooner podcasters don't give Dewey Selman his flowers, I'm revoking your Sooner license.
Facts. You can say whatever you want. I knew the reason I didn't bring that up was because I knew you'd be the man to do it. And had it not been what you were saying, you'd have just gotten kicked out right the hell out of here.
I know. I would have lost my Sooner card.
Yeah, you lose your card right there. You lose your card.
I love it.
But I agree. I agree with Coach that this game one, I seen the Debbie Downers and the people that need to be talked off the cliff and the bridge about the O-line. Guys, who's our offensive line coach? The man who puts the highest paid people in the NFL. It's Bill Bedenbow. Chill out. One game.
You had a lot of guys that were young guys in there today too. And look, it's not, I think part of it has to do with the fact it's not that you couldn't have played some of those guys that didn't go in. I don't think that they were willing to risk further injuring them against Temple because you just probably didn't need to.
Exactly. Now I can sit here and cuss Spencer Brown all day long. The guy has concrete shoes and all that. But you know me, Jason. One thing I'm looking at, and me and you talked about this a bunch. Coach Roy Ball talked it with me on my show the other day. I'm more of a defensive guy, and that's what I was actually looking at was the defense. I knew Jackson Arnold.
Well, and you said it, Sooner Legend. It's and so is Jason. I mean, and everybody knows this. It's been a long time coming. Defense of the glory days that we used to watch Oklahoma beat the shit out of people. Yeah, they always had a great offense, but I'm going to tell you what, they could play some damn defense. And that's what I see. And, you know, guys, we've been talking about that for several months now. You know, the recruiting upgrades defensively have been incredible. And it's starting to pay dividends. And they're going to be OU is going to be somebody that they're going to have to deal with in the SEC.
Yeah.
And can I get a shout out? Baby, the silencer. He is at another level.
Grayson Halton. God bless him.
Yeah, he was one of the next guys that I planned on bringing up too. Baby, Grayson Halton. You've seen a lot of things that have happened with him over the last couple of years. And you just wanted to see him be a little bit more you just wanted to see him be more consistent. Hey, do me a favor there, Stephen G, you're up and we'll be able to hear you, but since you don't have your video up anyway, just click on that little part that says that we'll put a line through your video thing. And that way it doesn't take up all the, there you go, my man. Yeah, hey, and but I'll let you kind of bring that up, Stephen G. What did you think about Baby tonight? I know that was something that we talked about a little bit in the Discord as well during the game. He looked really good to me, man. Looked really good. Stephen G, can you hear us? Stephen G, check, mic check.
Hey, want me to step in for him?
Please do.
All right. Yes. My man. Callie Sooner.
Yes.
Ooh-wee.
I love
the kid came to play. Yeah. I think he got better because the power line came into existence and the competitive depth drink is what set him off. And he needed that extra push. And we are seeing the results. It's not just him. It's all of the D linemen. It's like they're hungry and that they want to make sure that they get back and get a sack. So it's just a beautiful thing to see your guard and tackle getting back and creating a new line of scrimmage. Nothing like it.
Absolutely, and they did create they did create a new line of scrimmage.
Ooh, yeah, and he was wreaking havoc. You know, he was wreaking havoc in there, being able to, to kind of do just kind of able to get to the play immediately, and you saw that a lot from him. It's like we said, we've seen flashes of this the last couple of years. You want to see him be consistent with it, but when you've got a rotation going like they do there on that interior, that defensive line, let's not forget about DeJoun Terry. I know that he lost his spot to JJ, but let's not get it crazy and act like he's not going to be a big time player on that D line as well, because he is. He's already shown that he is that guy. The fact that Jaden Jackson could get in there and be a starter in front of him tells you a lot about Jaden Jackson. Not that much about what we already didn't see from DeJoun Terry, because he's a difference maker as it is. He is. These guys are going to be in. I would say the same thing about Stone. He made a couple of big plays when he got in there. Look, you're not seeing everything that you think you might see moving forward. I don't think that they wanted to show a ton of what they're planning on doing, once the SEC season starts. But it is
vanilla, boys, vanilla.
Very vanilla.
What did you think about Marcus Strong, Jason?
I like Marcus Strong. A couple of sacks to end the game didn't hurt nobody's feelers. You know what I mean?
No.
Didn't bother me at all. Has OU ever done one of these kickoff classic neutral site games? Honestly, I don't remember that they have, but it's I don't think it's something that they wouldn't do. They had Georgia scheduled for this game for the past 2 seasons. Had it not been for the SEC move, they were going to be in that game. They're going to play Michigan starting next year. I know you want to get in here and tell us all about your USC, soft as shit motherfuckers, but I'm just going to tell you, we ain't scared of anybody.
Didn't OU play BYU 1 year at Jerry's World?
That's what I was about to suggest. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. That's one.
Because we lost Sam Bradford that game.
Yeah. And we lost to BYU.
They did lose it. That's when they got Sam hurt in that game. But
I would like to bring up a point about the O-line. I've seen worse, Jason. I have literally seen worse. Go back to 2005 and 2009. I mean, them was and this offensive line is nowhere near that ugly.
No, I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be. Look, it might be somewhat of a concern if you had USC's freaking offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You have
Bill
Bedenbaugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's even an O-line. That's even an O-line coach's name. How can you get a better name than Bill Bedenbaugh? Bill Bedenbaugh is going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And he won't give a shit doing it.
And check this out, you guys. Won it last year by the Texas game, and when everything came to solidify with our running game.
Bro, I think everything's going to be fine. I think the running game started to show. They had 200 yards rushing, by the way. You know?
Yeah, they did.
They had 200 yards rushing. It's not something that you need to be ultra concerned about. Now, would that have been 200 yards rushing against a lot of teams? Probably not, folks. Probably not. Again, these are these games, and I think this is what, somebody said this right here. Yeah, T-Boomer. And welcome into the show, T-Boomer. These games are to fix O-line problems. I believe that that's the case as well. Look, again, we're not going to sit here and do this Sooner bashing and everything. You don't want to first off, you don't want to overthink what they are or what they're not from 1 week. Exactly. And that goes for any football team, by the way.
Yeah.
You
too early, man. Too early.
You highlight the things that looked good, you low light the things that didn't, but you have to look and take it for what it is. It's one freaking football game, folks. One game.
And
look,
and I even
absolutely right. Talk about this a little bit right here. What Satterfield had to say there, Sooner legend.
Tatum. Oh
yeah,
my
Taylor.
God.
Yeah.
I look for him probably toward mid-season, toward deeper in our SEC play after seeing him just his raw talent tonight and what he did on his own. I could see him very easily being RB1 about a little before maybe mid-season as we get deeper into the SEC. I mean, did you see them 2 long runs he made? Oh my God, that was him, just him. Nobody helping.
What's your fucking point, Trojan fight? What is your fucking point? Who gives a shit? You know what? Lincoln didn't want to play this one either, by the way. Just so you remember everything, he tried to get rid of the damn game for the 2 years that he's been there. So don't sit there and you're going to give this guy all kinds of credit and shit like that for playing a game that he don't want to play, and he's wanting to get rid of the Notre Dame game too. Stop already. Just stop already. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Jeez.
I know somebody that doesn't. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think he was talking.
I don't give a shit about Trojans either.
I think he was talking a little bit of shit about Notre Dame a minute ago too, Coach.
Oh, that's all right. He can talk all the shit he wants. When we whip their ass at the end of the season, he'll shut the hell up.
Well, let me just throw it in there for you.
You know what, guys? In a nice way, fuck y'all. We don't give a shit.
Amen, brother. Amen.
You got to put that one in there at least one time. And for all you Texas fans,
the brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Onikuno. Shout out to Sean Onikuno, our boy. Caught some of his I don't know if you guys ain't watching along with him. It's a lot of fun watching along with him.
Oh yeah, his live
You
stream.
get to watch him kind of go through the gamut of emotions in a game, the time of a game, right?
Yeah, usually it's the Debbie Downers in his chat.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys, and I hate that it leaks into college football, but there's so much damn negativity in this world, and we carry that shit right into the football side of the equation. You know, instead of finding the things that people do good, all we want to do is bitch and complain about the things that weren't good. And the sad part about it is sometimes a lot of people don't even know what the hell they're talking about when they're talking about, well, we look bad here, we look bad there. At the end of the day, if you know, it's kind of like this, and somebody said this today, I can't remember who it was, but that they were talking about, you know, we're going to have a coaches day where all the coaches in the country are going to get to go to your job and tell you how shitty a job you do. Wouldn't that be fun? And I tell you what, and I think I'd be pretty damn good at doing that.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to summarize your statement. you being from the Texas Panhandle and me being from Oklahoma, they don't. Your deal in a summary. They don't know shit from good apple butter.
Amen, brother. Amen.
And I love what Neilio had to say here too. You know, F aggression and negativity, just be happy. It actually works. It does work. You know, there's a lot of stuff we could be negative about today. You know, me personally, I could be negative about some stuff today. I'm not going to get into any of that tonight, but I'll just tell you this: ain't nobody going to change this for us. We love what we're doing right here, and we're going to talk all the shit we want to talk and say what the hell we want to say. This is college football time. It's for all this. And we're going to continue having a great time doing it. And if you guys don't like it, you don't even got to hang around. You know, it's all up to you. And and you, just so you understand, I just put you guys in timeout just to fuck with you. And I really don't care if you like that either or not. So, just so you understand.
And you know what? With that being said, Jason, I know we're a little off the football topic, but guys, go talk to your friends, bring them on here, and hell, we have a lot of damn fun here. And bring them on, tell them to come on. Let's get those numbers back up on the rise again. And it's just a whole hell of a lot of fun on this show. Again, that's my own opinion, kind of like Shotty. You know, it's my own damn opinion. But let's bring as many people as you can on here. Bring your
Well,
friends.
Coach, I'm not saying this because I'm on here. This is the premier best college football, whether it be OU college football content. This channel right here is the best out of all the podcasts on YouTube. I mean, you get it raw, you get it up.
I
You're
appreciate
very
that.
kind. You're
I
very
appreciate
kind,
that,
my
Mr.
brother.
Legend. I think that may be a little much, but I do appreciate you saying so. Thank you very much.
Well, we damn sure think that, though.
We enjoy what we do. We enjoy what we do. And
do.
we're going to continue doing it the way that we do it. I'm just that's the way I'm looking at it. And Stephen G, I like that. I like the question that you asked. I don't hate the way that Luttrell called the game. I don't. I probably would have. I could say that I would have, as I said earlier, I would have liked to see a little more stretch run, stretch zone kind of stuff, and maybe a little bit of stuff hitting that outside. Except that not on the right side, I wouldn't, though, because of Spencer Brown. He wasn't moving quick enough. So I did like more of it at the end, but I'm not sure that this is what we're going to see from him when it gets down to SEC play, if that makes sense. I'm not positive that that's where it's going to be. We seem to have lost the legend there. I'm sure he'll get back in here in just a second. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're seeing what we're going to see from him, but overall, I like the idea that we had 200 rushing yards. And that it wasn't easy rushing yards either. So it was kind of like they just kind of had to stick with it. In view of the fact that I don't think that was our offensive line in there, I do think that you'd probably see a little more. Now, I would say another thing with the running back situation. Look, I was excited to see some of the guys that you weren't expecting much from. You had your transfer guy coming in and getting a big run in there as well. Tatum, obviously, I think everybody's expecting a lot from Taylor, but I don't know what's going on with Caleb Hicks. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if it's what's going on, but I would tell you that I do believe that this is good. Yeah. I think that overall they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay. And I think that, we've seen, if you go back and look at what Seth Luttrell's done, not just at North Texas, but when he was at Arizona, when he was at North Carolina, the dude knows what he's doing running the ball. He likes to run the football a little bit. I think that he is going to commit to the run in a way that you probably hadn't seen, at least in the last couple of years, from Jeff Lebby. And then the other thing I would tell you is I'm not sure that we saw exactly what we're going to see out of the running game because DeMarco wasn't there. DeMarco wasn't there to decide what he's gonna do with the rotation. Now that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at last year. But I trust in DeMarco. I think it's going to be okay. Hicks a little banged up. I thought that's what I saw. Man, hop back in here, Stephen G. And we'd love to hear from you. Richard Shear, I think I saw you pop in. We'll pop you. Just make sure you turn off your cameras when you come in, and we'll make sure to put you up there. Let's see. Stink ass cat. I would love to go back and look. Third or fourth stringer, strong, throwing the quarterback like a rag doll. Yes. Who made me forget that was at CE. Yeah, look. I like all these guys, man. The D line is a breath of fresh air, man. That's all I got to say. It looked good. Caden Woolard looked good at times in there. Hey, R. Mason Thomas got in there and made some plays. You saw him and Ethan meet at the quarterback for that one sack. That was good to see. We've been waiting on R. Mason Thomas for a while now as well. I'm excited about that. I got the 2 flags. Did I? Damn it. That sucks. I don't give a shit. Flag me all damn day.
What'd you say? You don't what?
Yeah, the 2 flags. Yeah, I don't care.
You don't
need to work on
shit.
third down conversion. Look, no doubt, brother. No doubt. Yeah, everything wasn't going to be perfect today, guys. Even against a team like Temple, it wasn't going to be perfect. You still put up 51 points. You forced 6 turnovers.
But again, guys, coaches. I can tell you those third downs, coaches are trying things that we've been working on this in practice. Let's see what it looks like here in the real heat of the battle. You know, we know these third down plays are good to us. Let's see what this is going to look like today. And so, again, you got to see a lot of things, especially after you're whipping their ass so bad. A lot of the stuff you saw was things that coaches are wanting to get a look at. Whether do we keep this? Do we get rid of this? You know, looking at combinations with different players. You know, there's just a lot of things that today you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, win the ball game. You got to see a lot of players get into the ball game and play. So I think mission accomplished at the end of the day. So you didn't see the end product today at all.
Oh, Mr. Negativity, Trojan Fight, just trying to get kicked out of here as much as you can. We will oblige you, brother. We will oblige you. You know, come talking your shit after you guys take an L Sunday. Mr. Negativity.
After y'all want to drop everybody that is half decent from your schedule.
Facts. Appreciate everybody coming in with us here today for sure. J.A. quick kick was class A. Looked really good, man. Little pooch kick, little quick kick. Got them pinned down inside their own 5, man. That was another good one to see.
Yeah.
Haven't seen old numbnuts in a while either. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But we boot him out in the second he gets in, which is always fun. But he's not banned. He's just, you know, on a quick timeout basis, you know. It is what it is. If Hawkins is quarterback, we need to run the flex bone. Oh, Purple Orca and his flex bone. He loves the flex bone. I like the flex bone too. Listen, Hawkins is going to be that guy, but in due time. In due time. I believe they definitely need to have a package for him. I think that adds to your explosiveness, and it shouldn't really be that limited on what you run with. I don't think that you should limit what you're going to run with him. I think you definitely need a package for him. Absolutely. Richard Shear, no, we're excited about what you've been saying. We've been good with what you're saying. It's a race for all your mods to time out numbness. It is. I know it is. I usually beat you guys to which is kind of disappointing. I got to tell you, mods, man, that I have to be the one to time out these Texas guys or the people in here from SC running their mouth. That I got to be the one to do it makes me. I mean, a timeout is. I'm not saying to like ban them, but if I got to be the dude, it's not that great. It's just not that great. Just busting chops. We did. Hey, look, you know what? Love this one. Dilligaf? Something about giving an F is in your name here. I'm going to have to figure out what it is. But thanks and welcome into the show. Really seemed like we missed Mr. Anderson with his 10 to 15-yard post down the middle. I agree. Yeah. We were talking about that too. I think that out of everybody that you missed in the receiving room, I think
no doubt.
The fact that Nick wasn't in there, it definitely I think it kind of highlighted that the receiving room wasn't great today because he would have been, you know. Now, we hadn't said a whole lot about Deion Burks. We didn't even see what he's going to be best at today, and he broke a record for most touchdowns in their opening game, most receiving touchdowns in their first game as a Sooner with 3. I'm going to tell you right now, this dude is going to be that guy. We didn't even see him. They didn't hit him on a couple of those times where he was streaking down the freaking seam because, you know, if you get him on that, it's ball game. And I think a lot of that probably had to do with they were able to double team him a little bit in situations where you wouldn't be able to do that if you had a guy like Nick Anderson in. I think that you're probably going to see more out of Ivan Carrion, freshman or not. I think you're going to see more out of, I would hope that we get to see some out of another freshman in Zion Kearney, right? We've been wanting to see what we're going to get out of some of these guys Zion Reagan's for that matter as a freshman. You're going to get some more of these guys. I think Brennan Thompson wasn't a great showing for him in, you know, getting an opportunity in a situation where you had some injuries to some other key players. Not a great showing for Brennan. I do think that yeah, JJ Hester was another one that you gotta be better than that. You gotta be better. And yeah, I think he will too. Here's the thing. Do you want to like risk anything with Nick in week 1 against this team? No, not if he's dinged up even a little bit, right? I think Jaquez Petaway is another guy that you're going to want to start seeing something out of. I believe. I think it's his turn. We need to see him. But Deion Burks is going to be that guy, man. He is going to be that guy. Yeah, I think Thompson is that's not his game. His game is streaking down the field, outburning everybody, and then you just run underneath the ball. And I think that you're always going to be able to get that from him. You found out what you can and can't expect from him today. Maybe he gets better at that throughout the year, but I don't know that you give him a lot of more opportunities at it. You know, I don't think you give him a lot more opportunities doing that. But I think we're going to see more from Nick coming up here in the near future as well. Yeah, I don't even know if we have to run week 2 either. Correct.
We improved on our likes, Jason, or our dislikes.
Let's take a look. We've had 550 views. We have 56 likes, so about 10%. About 10%. It could be better. Definitely could be better.
Get the like or dislike, baby.
Yeah, do something with us. Come on now.
Help us out. Help us out.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us what this name means here, Mr. Dilligaff. Tell us. Helped out the offense more today than anything. Love to see Burke do his thing, but let's be real. The defense helped the offense out more today. All right, and I'm going to tell you something. This should be something that makes everybody super freaking excited, that we can have a game where we can say the offense looked not so good. And we won 51-3.
Complimentary football.
You know, it is
something the Trojans know nothing about.
What penalties did I catch on YouTube, bro? What penalties do you mean? Look, if you're gonna worry about these things, you know, it's, and I get it, you know, look, it's one game, we haven't seen enough to be able to really say who's gonna be what. But I think this is a good problem to have, man. That your offense didn't look like you expected it to look, and you still put up a bunch of points, and your defense looked dominant. You did what you were supposed to do here. I don't know. Somebody said I got flagged twice. I was just wondering. Just flagged if you knew who it was. Oh, corrected you to who after I wrote that. Oh, okay. I got you. Yep, got it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Somebody said I got flagged twice. I'm just wasn't sure what it was. When was the last time OU had that many 1 turnovers? You mean like forced turnovers? It's a good question, man. It's something I'll have to go back and look up, but it's not positive. It's been a while, man. Been a while. And look, they were forcing a lot of turnovers a year ago. You know, their turnovers were really good. See, you already said 2003 against Texas. Nice.
The brand has finally returned. F your brand.
Facts. Cool deal. It's probably better off that way.
Oh, dumbass.
The brand. Thank you, Stephen G. You are the man. We appreciate it. All right. It was. Garen on that punt team, Jaron Canick getting a touchdown. Hey, at first they said on the announcer said that they thought it was Kearney. And I was like, no, I think that's Jaron. That looks like Jaron. You know, so I was glad to see Canick get in there, get him a touchdown. He deserved it. Tawee Walker tonight. Let's hear it. 16 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Good for Tawee. Glad to hear he had. Look, man, all you have heard out of Wisconsin the entire offseason is how much they love them some Tawee Walker. And I got to say, I love Tawee Walker too, man. Shout out to Tawee. I think we ought to try to get him on the show somehow. In fact, I'm gonna reach out and talk, see if we can get a hold of him. Love to hear from him, and good for him, man. He's gonna be that guy. He's their workhorse back. He deserves to be somebody's workhorse back. I'm excited for Tawi. Really am. Really am. The Temple head coach has his work cut out for him. He does. He does. Yeah, Temple's a tough place to play football, man. Much better basketball school. Much better basketball school. I agree. I would agree with this. Stephen G says something you want to know. The third to fourth quarter TK transition was amazing. Crowd enjoy. Look, man, I wish that they would have damn put that on that. They should have put that in there. They should have went ahead and had that there for Toby Keith. The Toby Keith transition was amazing. I've heard nothing but great things about it. A lot of teary-eyed people there in the stadium. Toby Keith deserved every second. I'm so glad they're going to do this. I'm so glad I'm going to have opportunities to be in the stadium and see it firsthand myself this year. But just super excited about that. Super excited about that. I really wish they would have put that on television. I really do. But I'm sure we'll probably get an opportunity to see it on Twitter. I would think. So we'll take a look. And I'll be glad whenever I get a chance to see it in person. Let's see. Next week's Fearless projection, 38-10 over Houston. Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't get. I'd like to see them give up as few scores as possible to these teams that don't have quite the talent as far as the offensive side of the ball is concerned. I do think that Willie Fritz is going to he's going to give you some things that you probably don't. Going to be kind of tough, but I do believe that they should run away with that one as well. Didn't Wisconsin have another great running back or another running back that shared carries? You know, I didn't watch the game, I'll tell you that. I know that they've been talking about him as kind of that guy, you know, at times at least. So I'm excited about that. Tough and physical that looked not the part. Maybe so. Look, you know what, Trojan Fight, I don't think that you've really given me the credit of what some of the other things that I've said about that Big Ten. I also said that they're going to have a tough time adjusting to Oregon, USC, you know, even Washington, I believe, in what they do offensively. I think they're going to have a tough time with that. I think it's going to be tough to do that as well as they're used to doing it when it gets cold late in the season. I think you're going to see that, but I think that you're going to have some of these teams in the Big Ten. I don't think much of the Big Ten. You know this if you watch this show. I don't think much of the Big Ten. I think more of Ohio State, Michigan, and sometimes Penn State, but I don't think that much of the Big Ten overall. And that, you know, that would include USC right now. But I think that offensively speaking, the Big Ten's going to struggle to adapt to that. I don't think that they're used to it. Really? That's awesome, dude.
That's good stuff there.
He said, and he's an OSU fan. What did he think about that?
Okay,
You got to tell me what Dilla Gaff means, bro. Did I just miss it or what? You got to tell me what that means. It's in the Discord. Perfect. Glad. Trojan Fight. Just imagine teams better than Tulane in Utah. CEU, man. Yes, me too. A little top heavy. Bishop Frank with the membership, 13 months of a member. He's already well over a year now. Sooners dare
Bishop Frank,
to
you're
go
a good man.
through the fire. Championship mindset. Thank you for your membership. Your constant look, man, he's been loyal to us for a long time. We love you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Bishop Frank. You are the man.
Thank you,
I'm
brother.
out. Great show tonight. Appreciate it. Does it look like I give a fuck? Boom. You're automatically one of our favorites right now, Mr. Dilligaff. Love it. Already a favorite.
Love.
I love it. Does it look like I thought that might be it? Mm-hmm. Yes, Raymond, we didn't have the starting O-line, but yes. The other whiskey running back, Shez Malusi. Yeah. I think he's pretty good too. I think he was good too. I'll have to take a look at what they did tonight. I will. We can do that. All right, guys. We have been going for a little over an hour and 15 minutes. We went late, obviously, tonight, just to let everybody know we're still here. We're not going nowhere, guys. We're not going nowhere. Everything that you heard before is things have changed. We'll talk more about that later. We don't need to talk about it tonight, but things have changed a little bit. Yeah, we're here. So the coach and I are here. Yes, we're back. We appreciate everybody coming in, meeting us in here. Guys, we've had a lot of folks in here tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're not already a subscriber to the program, please help us hit to that damn 4,000 number, man. We hadn't quite got there yet. We'd love to be there. Please make sure that you take a look and let us know. Hey, give us what you got for tomorrow on the Notre Dame Texas A&M game. Maybe we jump in here and talk a little bit about that, or we got the snap count too. I'm sure we'll be talking about it there. But what do you think, Coach? What you got your score prediction for Notre Dame, Texas A&M?
24-14.
24-14. Good guys, being the Irish. I will go with, I think it's going to be a little closer. I'm going to call it 31-24, still a 7-point win for Notre Dame. I'll call it that. So we'll see what happens. Sent you and Coach an email. You have my model projections. Okay, man, we'll take a look at that for sure. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Money's on ATM, says Stephen G. Ooh. Well, we're going to see.
Well, I wish you'd have put that money with me because I like money.
Right. Yeah, man. You could always do that because, we have the way to get through that with our, obviously our Cash App or you can always go on Cash App or what's the other one? Venmo as well. That's in the description, guys. And a lot of times, honestly, if you're going to super chat us, that's actually the better way to do it. YouTube takes away about 40% of it. So kind of sucks. But anyways, we appreciate everybody, even just doing it at all, no matter how you get there.
Absolutely.
Anytime you super chat, and the free way to make sure that you support the program is just hitting the like button. We appreciate that a lot. You can always get into, I don't know, I don't have them up on the screen here right now, but our TriMint Mobile, TriMintMobile.com/HOF. That's TriMintMobile.com/HOF. You can get 3 months of unlimited talk, text, and data on the nation's largest 5G network for just $45. Yes, that's $15 a month. Make sure you jump into our merch store. That is still up, by the way. HOFmedia.us/pod-merch. You can get all your horns down gear, coaches, I don't give a shit wear, and many, many more deals. We're going to have a giveaway here for the start of the SEC season. We're going to decide kind of how that's going to go. But make sure you take a look at all that kind of stuff, and we will talk to you soon. Hey, thanks for coming in, Roger Dodger. Appreciate you. Thanks for everybody coming in. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. We'll see you
or dislike. Even that.
And
We'll
see
take
you
it
all on the next one.